couple of days, we have been like actually learning on our own. I didn't have to teach you anything. Y'all killed it. So all eyes up front right now. We should all be looking up front now for the next few minutes. You guys killed it and figured out how to make your own table and graph and mapping. Like you figured out how to do it. Today we're going to put that into practice, and we're going to like practice doing that ourselves. So I'm going to remind you how to do each one using example number 1 off your classwork as an example for you. So all eyes up front for a minute and get that paper in front of you. Pretty please and thank you. So the first thing on the worksheet is that you're taking the ordered pairs and you're just sticking them into a table. So when you list an ordered pair, what comes first, your X or your Y? X, right? And Y comes second. So when I'm filling in the table, well, actually for the first ordered pair, it doesn't matter because they're both the same, right? So we got X, we got Y. So -1, -1. Just plop it right there into the table. My next ordered pair, same thing, X and Y. We've got 1 and 1. My next X and Y is going to be 2 and then 1. And finally, my last XY is going to be 3 and 2. So you're literally just taking those ordered pairs and putting them right into the table. So any questions, comments, concerns about where the table came from? A lot of you guys are already, a lot of y'all are already right on top. All right. The second thing we asked you to do is put it into a graph. So I'm going to start with -1, -1. So a student in another class was like, man, it sucks there's no numbers on this graph because like you're just going to have to count. Unfortunately, there's a lot of graphs like that. And you can assume that they go up by 1. If they don't have any numbers on there, you can assume that they're going up by 1 every time. So -1, -1, since I'm going to zoom in here in the center. So this is my center point. That's my origin, right? So because my X coordinate was a -1, that means we're going to go to the left one place, right? And then because my Y coordinate is also a -1, we need to go down. So -1, -1 is going to be right there. From the center point, you go 1 unit to the left, and then you go 1 unit down. Ordered pair number 2 is the exact opposite of that. You're going in a positive direction for both your X and Y. So instead of going to the left, we're going to go to the right from the origin, and we're going to go to the right 1 because it was a +1. And we'll go up 1. Ooh, that was really ugly. That probably didn't help you very much. So +1, +1, because we went 1 unit to the right because that was a +1. And we went 1 unit up because that is a +1 as well. Ordered pair number 3. You guys can see where we're going with this. 2, 1. Those are both positive numbers. So we are going to go to the right 2 because it was a +2. And we're going to go up 1 because it was a +1. So 2, 1 is going to be right there on the graph. And finally, 3, 2. Oops, that's not what I meant to do. 3, 2, those are both positive numbers as well. So that means we are going to go to the right 3 and then go up 2 because they were both positive. So part 2, so after you've turned it into a table, we're going to graph those ordered pairs on the graph. So any questions about those? So the mapping is the one thing that was kind of new for you guys. And it works very similar to the way the table works. So your X is on the left, your Y's are on the right. Here's where it's different. So my X coordinates, I just have a -1, +1, 2, and 3, right? So I'm literally just going to write them straight off the table. So step 1, put the X values in there. So I'm literally just copying them from the table. So I already forgot what they were. -1, 1, 2, and 3. Okay, so -1, 1, 2, and 3. Then I need to put my Y coordinates in the right-hand side of the mapping. So that gives me -1, 1, 1, and 2. Now this is the one difference, that was a lot of ones, between the table and the mapping. So -1, 1, and 2. Remember that if you have a number that repeats, so we've got 2 1s in there, right? You're only going to write it once in your mapping. That's the difference. Oh, come on, I'm getting it. Okay, well, but you need to add something, though, because we're missing a key ingredient. I see what you're saying. We're missing a key ingredient, but you're right. You're almost there. Okay, so the big difference is don't repeat when you put it into the mapping. That 1, you're just going to write it once. Now, how do you know that it goes with 2 ordered pairs? Remember, that's where your arrows come in. So since -1 goes with -1, I'm going to add a little arrow right there between the -1 and the 1. So that tells you that they go together. +1 and +1 go together. So we're going to draw a little arrow from the +1 to the +1 to make that second ordered pair. 2 goes with 1 also. So that means the 1 is actually going to have 2 arrows going to it. So you don't write the 1 twice. You just make 2 little arrows that go to it. And finally, 3 gets a little arrow going to the 2. So, oh, I'm sorry, baby girl. It's important to note on the mapping, I put them in order from least to greatest, but you don't have to, okay? It does make it helpful, though, when we're doing the last part. So, again, for the mapping, you literally just take your X values, put them down the left-hand side, take your Y values, put them down the right-hand side. Don't repeat any values and add your arrows to connect what goes together. And then last but not least, yesterday we did an activity where we matched. Do what? Okay, can you maybe let me finish real quick, please? Okay. So once you get to the second part, so it says determine the domain and the range, okay? So we've got our table, we've got our graph, we've got our mapping. Okay, for the domain, which one's domain? We learned this yesterday. Is domain X or Y? X values. So you're literally just going to take your X numbers and you're going to put them in order from least to greatest. I'm going to erase this because I didn't give myself enough room here. So my X values, so for domain, remember domain is just a fancy word for X, okay? So domain, it's your X. We got to put it least to greatest. And we got to put it in between those little bracket thingies I can't draw. That's what those were. That's what that's supposed to be. That's supposed to be those little brackets that I can't draw. Yes, sir?
When we're writing the domain and range, do we repeat numbers?
That is an excellent question that I'm getting to in 2 seconds. But the short answer is no. So my domain is just going to be -1, +1, 2, and 3. Close the brackets. And then your range, instead of your X values, it's going to be your Y values. So what are my Y values? -1, 1, 1, and 2. But to Will's question, the same way I didn't repeat the 1 in the mapping, I'm not going to repeat the 1 in my range either. You just write it once. So the range is going to be -1, +1, and then 2.
Okay, I got a question.
Yes, ma'am.
What if you got repeated numbers in the domain? Do you still do it like that?
In the domain and the range both, if you have repeaters, don't repeat them. That's a great question. So, but now somebody asked another good question in the last class. They're like, well, if it shows up in the X and the Y, do you still repeat it? And yes. But if you have it appear more than once, you only write it once. So that is what we should have for number 1. So we got our X values. You just write them least to greatest. Put the little bracket thingies that I can't draw. And then the range is your Y values. Put them on there least to greatest. And put the little bracket thingies around it. So this part, everybody's going to get